What's going on, guys? JFC here, and today I want to talk about the best attackers in FIFA 23 in my opinion. Now, I want to show you guys some people who are not like Mbappe, Neymar, and Pele, right? Because those are like, everybody knows because they're going to be really good in the game. I want to go in depth on 6 or 7 cards that are maybe a little bit less known to be good, or maybe at least a little more questioned than most other cards. Not only do I think that they are good, but I think they are the elite of the elite tier, and that I think in the elite division and the high ranks and champs, you can actually use and to try and achieve those high finishes as well. I finished like between 15-5 and 18-2 in weekend league. So these are guys who I have used that I know for sure can push that boundary towards that maybe rank 1 threshold that some other cards that are just good to great can't do. That these cards I think are great to elite can. First player I have is going to be Erling Holland. Now, I know many people this year know he's very good, right? But people don't really understand just how good he is. I'm using his inform for some of the clips in this video. And Erling Holland, his gold, his inform are literally insane. He makes some of the best runs in FIFA, so the attacking AI is fantastic. Skill moves doesn't really matter that much this year. He's one of the most physically dominant players in the game. His strength and aggression, you can tell, are insanely high. And his dribbling actually with 78 agility in this game really isn't that bad. He probably has the best finishing or tied with the best finishing on any card that I've used in this FIFA. The other guy is in this video as well later on. And because he has lengthy, his pace is insane. Lengthy in this game is meta. It just is. And his pace, you just notice right away. If you play against Holland, you know what this is like, especially on next gen. He feels so fast. Now, obviously the downside to this card is his 3-star weak foot. And there are times when that is a little noticeable, but because he's so insane, the 3-star weak foot honestly doesn't mean as much as some other cards, because this card finishes everything in the box. He makes perfect runs. He's really tall. He's got good reactions. Obviously his passing isn't insane, but his short passing is good enough to at least be okay. So I think you can get rank 1 with Erling Holland on your team, which is something that maybe people just wouldn't quite think, even though they know he's good this year. So I want to put Holland in here because I think he is just an insane player this year. Next in this list is somebody who's rather new into the game, but it is this new Wilfred Zaha card. I really enjoy this card. I was a little worried about him because obviously his dribbling isn't like insane, right? 80 agility, his reactions are only 72 and composure only 79. I used this card to qualify for weekend league today, and he was insanely good. 5'11", 5-star skills, which is really actually pretty good in this FIFA. I know skill moves doesn't matter as much, but having 5-star skills, if you can do skill moves, is still really nice. The 3-star weak foot obviously is not ideal, but honestly his shooting was really good, so I did not notice it very much. And I think this Wilfred Zaha card is better than maybe his stats suggest, because if you're obviously like an elite tier player in this game, you're going to see some of these stats like the composure, like the attack positioning being 82, agility 80, and kind of say, I'm not so sure about this card. But honestly, I really enjoy this Wilfred Zaha card, and let me know if you guys did too. His traits obviously aren't insane. Flare trait is always nice, but honestly, it did not matter. Now, what it was about this card, but he played lights out for me. So, and what it might be is just his physicals are so good, right? 89 strength, 89 aggression. This year is so much more important than in previous FIFAs. It's insane. So that really could be what separates him. He just felt really fast. He's got lengthy with the marksman, and yeah, lengthy is the meta. So the first 2 players in here are lengthy. Now, next I'm going to go with an icon. And I'm not going to go with an icon who's like super well known. Right? This is a guy who's a little bit underrated. And I'm going to go with Alessandro Del Piero. Del Piero for me is a guy who I wanted to just try this year because in previous FIFAs, I've kind of slept on him maybe a little bit. His card always looks decent, but never quite great. This year, honestly, I used him and he was outstanding. I used him as a cam in the 4-2-3-1 and he was lights out. His shooting, icon shooting effect, it was amazing. He felt pretty fast, all things considered too. He's got 88 acceleration and 88 sprint speed for a cam, which is really nice. His passing was what I upgraded and it was pretty lights out. He felt like his composure was high, reactions high. There's really no flaws to this card other than the fact that he's not the most physical. That's really his only weakness. He's got 5-star weak foot, which is fantastic in this game too. 4-star skills is always good. High medium work rates is good. But yeah, this Del Piero card, give him a try because I think he's a little bit slept on in FIFA, but I want to see people give him the respect that he deserves because I think he is wonderful in game. Next in this list is somebody who's maybe not in that lengthy meta, but he's a very good striker for me, and also he's a very good winger for me, so he plays both, and that's this red or in form, Angel Correa. I really enjoy this card. You can play many positions, which is always an nice added bonus. And what I really notice about this card, what really separates him from the rest is his attack positioning. For some reason, this card was always in the right spot, seemingly. He's got the outside foot shot, but this year is very meta. He felt pretty explosive on the ball. His agility and balance are outstanding. The composure being 79, I did not really notice. But also I did notice was there were times when the 82 aggression and 73 strength were actually pretty decent. All things considered, even though he's pretty short, this Correa card could kind of hold his own sometimes against some fullbacks that maybe weren't quite as strong. And especially for the price point, like 70k, very versatile card. You cannot go wrong with this Angel Correa. I think he is a really good card this year. And you can definitely go 20-0 with a guy like Correa in your team, 100%. Next is going to be our first hero. Now, I think this is my favorite hero I've used this year, I believe. And that is going to be Jean-Pierre Papin. This card is actually really nice. I was a little surprised how good he was, and the reason being is because obviously he's got the 3-star skills and he's only 5'9", so he doesn't have quite that like lengthy feel to him. But honestly, what's nice about him is his finishing he is tied with Erling Holland for the best shooting this year, in my opinion. His finishing was so elite that it made him amazing in game. Obviously, he doesn't quite have that pace, only 83 pace on this card. But honestly, it just did not feel like 83 because the way I play and the way some people play in this game, you don't pace for the striker doesn't quite mean as much as it used to, right? So the fact that he has 92 reactions, his agility is high, 77 strength is pretty decent for a guy who's 5'9". Yeah, it's his shooting really sets him apart, and he's got an outside foot shot trait, which also is very meta. So he's got the Travellas going his way with 84 curve, 90 long shots too, 94 base shot power is insane. This is a card that's pretty slept on, and I do genuinely believe that you can go 20-0 with Papin in your team. I actually believe that. Hero finishing might be a thing this year, but we'll keep testing heroes to see if that is similar to icon shooting that we know exists in FIFA. Next up is a pretty ratty card, all right? Like most people know that Ousmane Dembele is very good this game, right? People know that. But what I think people sleep on a little bit is kind of just how good this card is. I don't know what it is, but if you put a dead eye on this Dembele, which I have on him, he is out of this world good. I've played 229 games with this Dembele already. Almost every FIFA game I've played this year. This is probably a top 3 winger I've used. He's an 83 rated gold. I know it sounds crazy, but this year, weak foot is very meta. He's got high shot power, which is very important this year. With that Deadeye card, his finishing goes up to like 90, which is crazy. His passing is decent. His dribbling feels amazing. He's got 89 dribbling, 90 agility. One of the best dribblers in the game this year. The only problem is those physicals, right? 68 stamina. He's easy to be subbed off in the game. That's okay. We can sub him off. But it's just, I'm so surprised about his finishing because that's always what kind of let down this Dembele card, right? His finishing was always good, but not great. This year, I think it's honestly pretty great. You can find guys who are better at finishing, but for how good this card is at dribbling on the ball, I think considering where his price point is at like a 50 and 60,000 coin range, this is probably the best player in the game for that price range. That's why I wanted to put him in here. Because obviously, you guys know Ousmane Dembele is good, but I think for that price range, that's the best card in the game, and you can go 20-0 with Dembele in your team. And the last card I'm going to go super in depth on. I'm going to finish out this whole squad so you guys can see who like my favorite attackers this year is. And guys who are a little more obvious than maybe I'm like explaining right now in this video. But lastly, I'm going to talk about Karim Benzema. And here he is right here. So this Benzema card is somebody who we have not been able to use in FIFA recently. But with an architect, he goes to lengthy. And I played 57 games with this untradeable one. I had a tradable one before this Benzema. I probably played another 50 games with. He is probably the best striker in the game for that price point. 6'1", medium, 4-star, 4-star is great. His short passing, his physicals, this card is just all around great. Like, he really is. With the lengthy, his pace feels fast, so you don't even need to worry about his pace. With the architect, he gets like 97 strength or something crazy, so he's super strong. His dribbling feels pretty nice. He's got 87 base dribbling. And yeah, his attack positioning being 92 is also nuts. It's a pretty important stat this year. Finesse shot and outside foot. You can't get more meta than this Benzema card really is, which is awesome because Karim Benzema deserves a good card in FIFA, right? He deserves this. We've been waiting for a long time for Benzema, Ballon d'Or winner. We have a good card in FIFA, especially special cards. This card is going to be so good with like another inform or two. He's going to be so insane. So these are the cards I wanted to talk about in depth. Let me fill out the squad right now, and then we'll talk about a few that I fill out here. Okay, and here's the team I filled out. So I'll go over some of the like most non-obvious ones here. Mbappe, obvious. Son, pretty obvious. Ronaldo, pretty obvious. Mario Gomez, he gets lengthy. His shooting is really nice. He's very similar to Holland in that way. He's not quite as good as Holland in my opinion, but Mario Gomez this year is way better than he's been in any other FIFA. Mario Gomez is sick. Vinny, pretty obvious. I put him here because his finishing this year actually feels a little bit better than it has in the past. He's at 84 with outside foot, which in this FIFA is sick. So Vinny, very good. Ben Yedder, rat. We all know that. We don't need to talk about that much. Henry, I actually used today and really enjoyed him. But I noticed right away was his passing. His passing was really good, and his finishing was pretty elite, even though he had 83 shot power. His card was sick. Raheem Sterling, I think Sterling this year is one of those cards that has low physical, but his dribbling feels so high and above other players that it kind of doesn't matter as much that he doesn't have the physicality. I think he just gets certain animations, and his attack positioning is 93, which is like way above what other cards are at that range. So maybe that also helps too. Yeah, Sterling, for like considering he's not strong, is like way too good this year, and that's similar. We'll talk about Dybala right now. Dybala is kind of the same way. Dybala gets these like dribbling animations that other players don't quite get that makes him more usable in this game than other cards who don't have that strength. And Dybala is very similar in that way. I really like Dybala this year. Mane has that strength. He's very good. That's pretty obvious as well. Socrates is a guy this is his year. 6'4", high medium, 5-star weak foot, 4-star skills. This card is sick. His 96 composure, that really shines through sometimes. This card in front of goal is amazing. And he's got great passing. So pretty awesome card. So Anthony, I put him here because I think once he gets upgraded, he's going to be sick. I love Anthony in FIFA. And I think one inform, get that finishing to like 82, maybe more than one inform, maybe a promo card. This card is going to be amazing. So I want to put him here just kind of for that honorable mention type thing. And then Zorloth, he's really good this year. 96 strength, 90 composure really helps him too. He feels really slow on the ball. He does not feel as good as Holland on the ball. But you can use Zorloth this year to high effect. So, and the fact he has 85 curve, outside foot shot, Trivella City, that is disgusting. The fact that a guy who's this tall can also Trivella really well makes Zorloth a cheap beast in this game. So there's obviously other cards in FIFA that I have not used, like the higher end icons are like the Peles, Jairzinhos, that kind of thing. I'm not going to get into them too much right now because I think most people just can't even afford those guys, and I haven't used most of those guys. So I want to talk to you guys about guys who I have not used yet this year. These are guys who I have used that I know are good in game. I want to give you guys this video to kind of help with a little bit, give you guys a little bit of nuance on some cards that maybe you wouldn't expect to be at that level of this year, which is really nice about this game this year. These kinds of cards can be at that level. Like a guy like Holland or Zorloth or Mario Gomez can be at that level, which I do appreciate. There's parts of this game that are not great, that I don't like a ton, but those kinds of things I'm glad that they added this year because I do really like that. Okay, so if you did enjoy the video, please drop a like, subscribe if you're new around here. If this video does well, I'll make a midfielders video as well very shortly. Any questions you guys have, leave a comment down below. Is there anybody that I missed? I've not tried everybody. I've tried a lot of cards. I've not tried everybody. So if I missed somebody, leave a comment down below. I would love to try everybody who you guys say deserves to be on this list. Well, I'll catch you guys in the next video very soon. Peace.